We literally had 6 inches of snow on Friday, and then today, not even a week later, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. That is Missouri weather for you.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
Lots of stuff on the agenda today at the container house. Majority of it is going to be outside. As you know, we've been really focusing on the inside over the past couple weeks, but since we're having this false spring, I guess I would call it, we're going to go out here and tackle some things that we've been avoiding because of the cold. So let's do it. He's been working on clearing everything that is up here where the shop's going to be, because he's going to start on dirt work in the next couple weeks, just building up the ground for the shop. We want to start on the shop, but it is a crap ton of dirt work because we're going to be doing a slab foundation and this is downhill. But if he just chips away a little bit each day, it'll eventually get done. So that is what he's doing, is moving everything that we have stored up here, and that'll allow him a little bit more space to do measurements, figuring out if we need to even bring dirt in or if we can get it from somewhere else on the property. But that's what he's doing right now. That was very short-lived. A bunch of clouds came in and now I'm cold, so we're gonna grab a sweater and then get to work. While Cody continues to clean up there, I'm going to take the plastic off of the girls' coop, but still try to salvage it because this is false spring, so I don't know if we're gonna get snow. It snowed in April before, it snowed on Friday. So either way, it's getting too hot in there. On our really warm days, on our 60 days, it's acting like a greenhouse. And so to give the girls a little bit more comfortability, we're gonna go ahead and take the plastic off. I have this little staple detach tool, de-stapler, whatever you wanna call it. It came from Cody's sewing kit, and yes, that's right, I said Cody's sewing kit. He likes to do upholstery and things like that. He actually did all of the seats in our boat. So this came from his kit, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this to pull the staples out that we originally put in. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the first one because I think I'm gonna roll it back and somehow attach it. So that way, just in case it does snow, we only have to unravel it, or if it rains, we only have to unravel it. So I'm gonna leave the first one and move on to the second. Easy enough. Dang, those are really in there. Trying to save them all so that way none of the other animals pick them up or I don't step on them when I'm barefoot in the summer. Oh no. Okay, I think that one is a lost cause. That thing flew. I've been looking for a few minutes now, and I think she's a goner. Cannot find it. Oh my gosh, I literally found it. Me so excited. Okay, there we go. Now I need Cody, so let's go grab him so he can help me roll everything back. If I try to do it, I'm probably just gonna end up tearing it and it's gonna be a mess. Can I use your help? Let's get over here.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Everything's cleared. You can actually see where the slab's gonna go now.
Yeah, I just need to finish picking up this little bit of stuff right here and move a couple more things, then I'll start moving some dirt.
I think I just want to roll it back and then use the bungee cords to tie it in place. I don't want to take it off yet because what if it snows again, you know?
Yeah.
You working on now, baby?
Well, I was just thinking it's probably about time to get the pond circulator or skimmer hooked back up since it's starting to warm up. Water looks like it turned a little greener. I mean, it's pretty clear. It just has a little bit of color to it.
Gotcha.
Because I can see to the bottom whenever I go out on the dock. But yeah, I'm probably gonna bring the Blue Eddy over and hook up the skimmer and let it run for a little bit.
Okay. When we're not using our Blue Eddy for powering projects at various spots on the property, we are using it to do some sort of long-term power solution. So for this, the pond filter needs to run for a really long time to actually get the full effect, and so the Blue Eddy is perfect for that long-term power solution.
Whenever we got the really big deep freeze, I had to come pull it out of the pond. That way the pump didn't freeze and break. The thing about these is once they get full of water, they're near impossible to move. But the good thing is they float, so you can kind of position it a little bit and then just let it fill with water and get in the right spot.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this for a second so you can hear me, but I just wanted to take a second to thank today's sponsor, which is Blue Eddy. We have had the pleasure of getting to try several of Blue Eddy's products, and by far they are our favorite. This specific power bank is the AC200L. It has a 2400 watt surge and a 2048 watt hour battery. As you guys know, we're off-grid, and so we need power at various parts of the property where we're not able to have access to it, which is up at the main house. And so, for instance, our pond filter is a whole ton of power. I think it said what, like 1200 watts of power at a consistent rate. And so the Blue Eddy is able to power that for a long period of time, helping us to be able to filter through our pond, as well as simultaneously running the UV lights, so that way it's sterilizing the water as well. With the Blue Eddy, the possibilities are endless. So maybe you aren't living off-grid. Maybe you just like to camp. Guess what? You can use your Blue Eddy camping. Maybe you just need some sort of home backup. A lot of our family members have CPAP machines, and so having one of these things on hand is great, because if the power goes out in your home, you still need to be able to sleep and run your CPAP. So various different things like that. You can run your fridge if your power goes out. We are seeing a whole ton of power outages across the grid recently, and I see a ton of people that could utilize a power station. Anyways, I don't want to bore you with a bunch of specs because you have seen us review these power stations in the past, so check out one of our other videos if you're curious for more in-depth information. I'll leave one right here, but I'm going to go ahead and get this thing plugged in so our pond can get to filtering and we can get back to work. If you've been wanting to try your very own Blue Eddy or have just been interested in learning more information, I will leave everything that you need to know right down in the description. There are links and all, so make sure you check them out.
And thanks again to Blue Eddy for sponsoring today's video.
All right, their coop is covered, and it's gonna be easy to uncover whenever we get rain or snow. Hopefully no more snow, but you never know. The girls really need a lot of sand, but that's really far to get a truckload of sand. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Maybe we'll just go get a couple bags from Rural King. But I need to feed them, get the girls water, grab eggs, and then I can move on to the next thing that needs to be done. just need to grab eggs and then we should be good. Okay, pause. I'm editing this video right now, and one thing that I forgot to ask in the beginning was if you have any questions for Cody and I, we really want to film a Q&A soon. We get a bunch throughout our videos, but I forget to keep like a log, which I really need to do, of the most commonly asked questions. So whether it's house related, relationship related, off-grid related, if you just want to be nosy, whatever you guys want to know, leave them down in the comments, and then we're going to try to film a Q&A this week. As you can tell, I'm a little sick, so we're going to try to take a small little break, and I figured that would be kind of fun to, you know, just take a pause, sit down, and just really talk with you guys. So, okay, all right, back to the video. That we've wanted on the property for quite a while is a well, and we were quoted what, like 20 grand just to get a well on this property, and then we were quoted like 14 even if Cody and I did a majority of the work ourselves, and all they did was come and drill the hole and put the casing in, and we did everything else. It was still like 14 grand. We have been doing a little bit of research. I say we, always Cody has been doing a little bit of research on different kind of, what is this?
This is a driven or a sand point well.
We live uphill, and down at the bottom of our valley is a creek, and so we figure next to the pond, in between the creek, somewhere in this vicinity might be a good place to start. And we've always had a little bit of standing water right here. So Cody dug it all out last night to see if it would refill itself up with water, and it did. He's tried this a few different times now, and it continues to fill itself all the way back up. So we think this is going to be the perfect spot to put our well. He's already started it, but as you can tell, this is the first pole, and he did not get that far.
No, we're about 5 feet in the ground right now.
So yeah.
And we already have water, so that's a good sign, but I've emptied this about 4 times now, and it fills back up pretty quick. So we have about 25 feet of pipe to put in the ground. And also, the more you flush it, the clearer it'll get over time. So I'm just kind of trying to flush it and get some of the water out of the hole.
So this could be a total fail, or this could be a hit and run. We shall see. Hopefully, we're able to get majority of the pipe that we bought into the ground. It's about 25 feet of pipe, and be able to get consistent water this way. At least we'll be able to fill all of the animals' water bowls and just have water for various other parts of the property without having to strictly rely on the pond. All of the materials that we're using for this we purchased from Menards, and yeah, I would have filmed from the very beginning, but
I was excited.
Yeah.
What?
I have a hole in my rain boot.
Oh.
I just,
your foot wet?
Yes, my socks are wet.
Oh,
My
that
toes. So as you can see, he got all of the water out of the hole. Now he's going to take this hand pump off, and then hopefully we're going to be able to drive this further in the ground. We have a couple methods we're going to try. The first one is using the post hole digger. The second one was going to be using the tractor. I don't know if that's going to work anymore because, as you can tell, the tractor's right there and we can't really get it further down. We thought about using a gas post driver, but when we went to go pick it up, the guy asked us what we were doing. Cody told him, and he's like, oh, that's not going to work. So we ended up just not getting it. And we're going to try these methods first and see what happens.
Now, we're obviously not going to do all 25 foot of this by hand like this, but I'm just going to give it a little shot. I think we're going to end up either building a tripod, or if I can get the tractor over here, we'll add some weight to this and then use kind of a rope and pulley system to lift it and drop it. I think the sledgehammer works better than that's working.
So what he's doing, since it's at a steady decline, he's taking dirt from one side and putting it on the other, smoothing it out so it kind of evens itself out, and he has a nice place to be able to bring the tractor and drive down. That way we can, you know, obviously utilize the tractor to drive the well into the ground. So that's what he's doing, is he's just trying to make a makeshift road per se. It definitely went down a little bit, not as much as we would like. So now we're just going to attempt to just hit it with the tractor bucket and see what that does. We don't want to necessarily beat up our tractor, but I feel like it went down more whenever it was just the tractor bucket than any of the other attempts that we've tried. So we basically destroyed the nipple. That's what this is called, is a nipple. So it worked. It definitely got a lot lower. Especially with all the other methods that we tried, but it destroyed the nipple, so that doesn't really work.
Yeah, so
for
we
a
can't get the cap
effect.
back on, so we're basically just going to destroy it even further until it's irreparable. I mean, it's already irreparable,
Oh
but
yeah, for
we're
sure.
just going to destroy it even farther. So we're going to go pick up a couple extra nipples, that way we can get this driving cap back on, and then I think we're going to try and put like 5 or more bags of the set concrete, because we have a bunch of concrete that went bad. So we're going to try and put a bunch of that in the bucket and set it on top. And I think having all of that extra weight along with us hitting it with the hammer is giving us our best outcome so far. So we tried the whole tripod method without the tripod, where I just lifted the weight with the tractor bucket and dropped it, and it seemed like it didn't really work very well. So I think having all that extra weight sitting on top of it while driving it is what's going to give us the biggest difference. Yeah. So
Okay.
I guess back to the Roll King.
You can see in just this little bit of time that we've been working, we've been out here for maybe 15 minutes since I first filmed, and it's already filled all the way back up. So we're very confident there is water, just how to get to it, we're not 100% sure, because we are further back here in the woods. It is a little bit more difficult to get equipment back here. So we shall see. Ready to go to the Roll King?
Yep.
Okay.
So our method's definitely been working. We got it pretty deep in the ground so far, but I'm pretty sure we're in clay right now, so we stopped pulling water out. So it's pretty much just drive and add more pieces at this point until we finally hit water. All right, so we got it about 7 feet in the ground right now. The hole is full of water, but I can't get any water to come out of the pipe at the moment. I pretty much got to a standstill where it didn't really want to drive any much more, and I just kept dumping all the concrete out of the tractor bucket. So we're probably going to have to find a different method for driving it in the ground the rest of the way, and something that'll hopefully work a little bit better and not be so difficult. But I only have probably about 20-30 minutes left of light, and my hands are tore up from swinging the sledgehammer at this thing all day. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, and I guess hopefully try back at it tomorrow.
The last clip that you watched that same night, when we got inside, we were feeling a little sick. And then when we woke up, we were really, really sick. So yesterday was rough. Today for me is rougher. Like, this is the worst that I've felt. I think it's just a cold. Cody feels a ton better, so he's been trying to get work done this morning. But I think it's just a cold. We had to be around somebody that had a cold. It was inevitable. We couldn't really not go. So we tried to take necessary precautions. However, we both still got sick. So I'm gonna go find Cody. I see him over there on the other side of the pond, and then have him update you on kind of what's been going on with the well. And that's pretty much it. I feel like trash, so. Hi, honey.
Hey, what's up?
What are you doing?
Pumping out the water from down there into the pond.
Number one, how are you feeling today?
A lot better than yesterday.
Yeah, you sound a lot better.
You don't.
Okay, let's go down there and show them what all you've done.
All right.
Like my attire for the day?
Beautiful.
This is the current state of everything, and I'll just let Cody kind of take it from here.
So we only got it about 7 feet in the ground, and it ended up sinking into some tough mud and wouldn't go any farther, and we couldn't get any water out. So I decided to try and...
Hey, love. Can you talk a little louder?
So I decided to try and dig a big hole with the backhoe and try and pull it back out of the ground, and I only have like this much of it left down in there in the ground, and I can't get it out still, so that mud's pretty tough. But I'm pretty much gonna pump all the water out of the hole and keep digging down there today. That way I can try and get the well out, and then I think we're going to build some sort of extension setup for the 3-point auger. That way we can try and drill a hole as deep as we can and then put the sand point down in the bottom of it. But if you have any suggestions or tips, leave them in the comments. The problem with doing a project like this is we don't really have a whole lot of information about a whole lot of wells around us, only like 2 or 3, and they're all drilled wells that are very deep.
Yeah,
so
like 300 plus feet.
More like 6, but so this is really a shot in the dark, and we're expecting it not to work, but hoping it will.
We don't really have the proper equipment either, so
yeah, if we had like a post pounder for the tractor, that would definitely help, or I don't know, a Bobcat with a post pounder attachment.
We're talking about thousands of dollars in equipment.
Yeah, and when we're betting that it's probably not going to work, we don't necessarily want to spend a bunch of money on it.
Always, please, if you have more experience in this matter, leave your suggestions in the comments, or if you know other people who've done this. I've tried to do a little bit of video research. I've looked at a couple people. The channel Jay and Jen sent me a link to, I think it's Bushmaster or Bushcraft or somebody on YouTube, and I watched their video. But again, we just don't have the proper equipment, so always leave comments, channel names, things like that.
And dirt's different everywhere, so
Yeah.
just because it'll work perfectly for one person
place.
doesn't mean it's going to work the same way for the next person, being that we don't necessarily have the same dirt. You know, here we have pretty much a really rocky type of clay, and we haven't dug down here at all, so we don't necessarily know what type of dirt is past this point. We've only dug up by the house, which is about a 50 to 70 foot higher elevation, so the dirt's going to be different up there than it is down here. So
I'm trying so hard not to sneeze on camera.
I know. So yeah, it's just kind of a shot in the dark, but we'll see what happens.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna